Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with another Costco video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Paige. I'm a master's student at the University of Guelph. I'm in my first year of my master's, just finished my first semester. I'm officially on Christmas break now. Just before we start, I wanted to clear things up. If you notice, my face is really chubby right now. I don't know if you can see my cheeks, really chubby. I got some dental work done yesterday. I had to get a root canal on the front tooth and they had to put stitches in. So now my face is really puffy and I kind of look like a chipmunk mixed with a who, giving off those vibes. So yeah. Also, I can't really fully open my lip here. So if I'm talking funny, that's why, because I've got stitches in there and I think my mouth is still kind of frozen. Anyways, so I decided to do another Costco video. My last couple of videos ended up doing really well and taking off. I was kind of surprised and overwhelmed by the amount of people who liked it and commented on it and asked questions. It was really nice to interact with you guys and also hopefully help a couple people out. So if you remember, my first Costco video was what it was like working in Costco in a pandemic. I can also make a part 2 to that video. I feel like I never really finished it off because I literally had to go back to work, so I didn't have any other time. I decided to do kind of similar, kind of different, but what it's like working at Costco during Christmas break. And 'tis the season, it is Christmas break right now. I'm a little bit late on this video, but I just want to make it for people who are A, trying to get hired there right now, B, who started working there and are like, hey, what's Christmas break like? Or for people in the future who are thinking of working there and are like, what's Christmas break like? I'm just gonna be going kind of off the top of my head. I don't really have anything planned. I'm just gonna, whatever comes to mind, I'm gonna be putting out there. For those who don't know, I worked at Costco for 3 years. I worked there from summer 2018 to December of 2021. I was a CSRP, which stands for the College Student Retention Program. So basically I was a summer student there, so I'd work there during the summer and I'd also work there during the Christmas break. There is the option to work during reading weeks. I never did that, but that was always an option too. So yeah, so during the summer I worked full-time hours, anywhere from Monday to Sunday, any hours for usually about 8 hours a day, and same with Christmas break. So typical Christmas break schedules are working sometimes 2 weeks with a day off. There'd be sometimes where I'd have a perfect 5-day schedule with days off. So it does kind of depend. Because we were summer students, we kind of got thrown around into any position. So we'd get called in early, would stay late, basically filling in for the full-timers when they were on vacation or when they needed a break. First, I think I should start off with saying, for people who are working there, whether you're a part-time, full-time, student, or seasonal, you are not allowed to take time off between November to January. So they call this a blackout period. Basically just means that you're not allowed to take any vacation from this time. It's because the holidays are so busy at Costco and everyone's shopping at Costco. So to have so many people taking time off, it would just mean backlog in scheduling and they wouldn't have enough people to fill tills. So basically you are working all the time during the holidays. It is unfortunate, but if you are looking for hours, then it's a good place to get hours. If you're full-timers, of course, you have the same schedule that you always do. Whatever your schedule is, that stays the same. They can ask you to change it up, but you're under no obligation to. If you are part-time or CSRP, it is very likely that you will get more shifts. Again, if you are looking for money during this time, it's a very good time to work. And additionally, they will hire seasonal. So if you are looking to try out Costco, they start hiring seasonal in about October, November, I think. And then they will either decide to let you go at the end of December, beginning of January, or they will ask you to stay on. So it kind of depends from year to year. There's been a bunch of years where seasonals have stayed on and they continue to work there. They end up going part-time, full-time. There's also the case where seasonals do get let go. And it is sad because you do get close to a lot of the seasonals, but that doesn't mean that you can't go out for Costco again, put in an application. Because they know you, they are more likely to choose you. Last year that I was working during the pandemic, so this was December 2020, they did let all the seasonals go and they even let the students go because there was such a cut in hours and because everything was getting cut down to bare minimum. They did let everyone go after New Year's. So that kind of sucked because we lost out on some money, but also understanding why they did it. So another thing, I've kind of mentioned it already, but this is especially for the part-timers and for the CSRPs. This also does apply to full-timers too. Be prepared that they will ask you to come in early. So your shift might be at 12:30, they might call you at 10:30 and ask you to come in. Just be prepared. I found that I was usually able to take these shifts because the day of work, I never really had anything planned because I was going to be working all day. They're very happy when you do take these shifts, and sometimes they can be more favorable to you when you're in need of a favor. I found that because I always took shifts, because I was always early when they needed it, stayed late when they needed it, etc., that when I needed something like, say, to leave early from one of my shifts or to change a shift around, they were often very accommodating, which was very helpful. So I guess that's just a thing, like becoming friends with your managers, becoming friends with your supervisors. They will be very accommodating. I was lucky where I had really good managers, supervisors. I was very close with them. I enjoyed working with them a lot, and they would always do whatever they could to help me out. I would in turn do anything to help them out. So again, would take shifts where I could, would go to the freezer if I needed to, would go to the door if needed to, like would just help them out wherever I could, would help on till, all those kind of things. So it's that rule, I guess, like, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I think that's how it goes. But that's just something to be aware for the holiday. Like, more so than ever, they will ask you to change shifts around, to come in early, stay in late. Costco, during my time, was very strict on no overtime. Because during the pandemic, they went so into overtime. I'm talking people were working like 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts. Like, people were working like crazy. So they went to a lot of overtime. So then when I came back, was working, this is in like the summer and also December, I'm using a lot of hand motions here. I don't know what's going on. They were really strict on overtime. So even if you were a minute into overtime, they would be like, nope, like shut your till down. We need to get you off right now. This might have changed. Again, I haven't been working there in over a year. So this might have changed, but from what I kind of glean still, like I'm still in the Costco Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff, they're still very strict on overtime. So be mindful of this. Also be mindful that they might ask you to stay overtime. It is unlikely, but just be mindful. So if you're cash trained and you're working as a cashier or even a cashier's assistant, like make sure that you are telling your supervisor like, hey, I've got 5 minutes left of my shift, because obviously the person who's running the board has like all these names, like they're not always watching, especially if your shift was changed. So like, yeah, you're working 12:30 to 9:30, but oops, you moved to a 9:30 to 5:30. Like let them know, because they're looking at the board and they're saying, oh, they're not done till 9:30. So when you hit like 5:25 and you have 5 minutes left in your shift before you go to overtime, you need to tell them, because they probably don't know. Like when they're passing off the board, like there is a lot of times when people like don't tell them like, hey, this person came in early, or like, hey, this person's coming in late. Like they're kind of just going what's on the paper, and like when it gets passed around so often, it's like a game of telephone, like things get lost in translation. It's like, be mindful of this, like watch when you have 5 minutes left, because you need to tell the board runner or else they get in trouble from their supervisor. Like they won't get mad at you, but like there is a possibility to be like, hey, you didn't tell me, and like get kind of annoyed. So like just be aware of that. I feel like this one doesn't really need to be said, but I'll say it anyways. Costco at Christmas is crazy. Be prepared for lines out the door. Be prepared for like a 400-person door count. Also, for people who don't know, the people who work at the door keep a door count. I worked at the door for a very short period of time. And again, this was during the pandemic, so they were a lot more strict on this, because it was like letting people in, letting people out, that kind of thing. But they do keep a door count regularly, even in non-pandemic times. So they will report on the door count every half an hour. So you know it's gonna be crazy when there's over a 400-person door count. I'd say average is about like 250 to 300. That's kind of where we like to see it. Low is in the 100s. So just be prepared for things to be crazy busy. As we all know, Costco is busy at the best of times, but just be prepared that there's gonna be long lines, there's gonna be people with huge carts, double carts, flatbeds, because also it's Christmas, people are buying Christmas presents, so like be prepared for TVs, barbecues, couches, whatever. Just be prepared for it. This is also, if you're doing go backs or cleaning aisles, there's gonna be stuff like all over the place, like chocolates in the clothing aisle or meats out of the freezer section. That was the most annoying part, because I don't like being wasteful, but like sometimes people would discard their meat just in a random aisle or a clothing aisle or candy aisle, whatever. And at that point, because we can't ensure that it's safe, we have to throw it out, which kind of sucks, because those are good cuts of meat, they're expensive, someone could really use it, yada yada yada, all those kind of things. Just be prepared that you're gonna find the most random stuff throughout the aisle if you're doing, I can't remember what it's called, like picking? No. It's like when you're doing go backs and you just like, you picking stuff up to try and put it like in the right spot. I can't remember what that word is. There was a term for it, but just be prepared that you'll find a bunch of random stuff. Also be prepared that sometimes, even though it's the holiday season, people can be kind of moody and kind of stressed because, you know, it's Christmas, it's holidays, they're preparing like dinner parties, all these kind of things. So be prepared that people will be kind of like stressed and flustered. But then on the opposite end, people who are shopping at Costco, make sure you're nice to your local Costco employees because we're also stressed too. Like, we're pulling really long shifts, we're tired, we're overwhelmed, overworked. So let's just have some mutual niceness. Let's all be good to each other. Another one I kind of just mentioned, be prepared for a lot of go backs. Like, so often, because people have these huge carts and they're just like kind of going throughout the store, they're just picking up anything they see. So when they're finally unloading it, like, be prepared that people are gonna be like, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. The most annoying is when people say, I don't want it to a freezer item, and you have to go all the way to the back of the store to go put it away, or again, like a meat or something, you have to go all the way to the back of the store to put it away. That's very annoying. And just be prepared for people to also say, oh, I forgot blank. Can you go get it for me? This is, if you're a cashier, you don't have to do this because obviously you're on cash, you need to keep the line moving. But if you are a cashier's assistant, be prepared for people to just be asking you to go get things. I know it's annoying. I know it's really frustrating, especially like if it's a big order, especially if you're stressed already or overwhelmed. But sometimes people with the biggest carts will ask you to go get that second bagel because they don't realize that it's the two for the price of one. Same with muffins. So just be ready for that. Try and keep your composure. I know it's annoying. I know it's stressful. But remember, we're here to try and give the best experience that we can. But just try and keep cool. Try and keep your composure. As much as you want to just scream sometimes, don't. Again, easier said than done, but trust me, it'll make an overall better experience. This is something for the employees. So like I said, Costco at Christmas is crazy busy, overwhelming, everything that you could never want and more. It's a lot basically. But then Boxing Day hits. So Costco, at least in Canada, is open on Boxing Day. Most people don't realize this. So Boxing Day was always so quiet for us. Boxing Day, I'm pretty sure, is also time and a half. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. So if you can work the Boxing Day shifts, do it because it is good money. Usually they don't want the full-timers to work that day because since they're already at the top end, like they're making $29 an hour, they don't want them to be working because then 29 time and a half, it's so much more money. So they want the part-timers or the students, because you are at the lower end of the pay scale, they want us to be working. So take that shift if you can. I know it kind of sucks that it's Boxing Day and you want to, you know, go shopping and chill at home, but it is really good money, especially if you're a student, really good money, and it's very quiet. So they will also try and send you home early if it's very quiet. You can definitely do that, like that's totally up to you. But they always told us not to because the pay is so good. It's boring, like when you're just standing around cleaning the till. But there will be like spurts of people that come in that are like, oh, I didn't know Costco's open. Costco is open on Boxing Day. But try and stick it out, as boring as it is. Typically they won't give an 8-hour shift. They usually would give like a 4 or 5 hour, maybe a 6 hour. I got an 8 hour, I think, once on Boxing Day, but just try and stick it out as much as you can. The same for Christmas Eve. You are open, but you close early. I don't think it's time and a half. And New Year's Eve, you are open, but close early. For Christmas Day and New Year's Day, you're not open. And I think it's just Boxing Day you get time and a half. I'm trying to remember now. Ask your supervisors though, definitely ask them. I don't want to be giving out false information, getting people's hopes up. So guys, that is all I have for you. It's a little bit of a shorter video. I just kind of going off the top of the head. Don't know if I missed anything, hopefully not. But if I did, I'll leave some stuff in the description box below. Just like last time, leave all your comments and questions below. I'll do my best to answer them, so leave all your comments and questions below. Also leave any video recommendations. So if you like the Costco series, you like learning about Costco, sort of what's going on the inside, or if you have any other ideas, leave them in the comments below and I'd love to do some. I like making Costco videos, makes me nostalgic. I miss the Costco fam. I really enjoyed working there. It was a really good experience. It was a great learning experience, taught me customer service skills, patience, how to work quick, so many good things. Remember to like this video and subscribe, and even if they're not Costco related, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what else you guys would like. So I'll leave also my other Costco videos in the description box below to check out. I'll also try and leave some in the eye, like the little information thing. Where's it? Right here? I think it's up here. If not, it's on this side. But I'll leave my other Costco videos up here as well for you guys to check out. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, bye.